All right. Apologies about that. I had a little oopsie doodle, and I needed to figure out. Here we go. This share. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. And a little oopsie doodle, but that's okay. Can I get a volume check? Has anybody let me know if I'm coming through? Hey, we got one viewer. Can I get an audio check? Can you let me know if I sound okay in here? So I'm just waiting to see if I can't get some more folks to join here. Ooh. Yep, I am live. I am large and in charge and live. Waiting to see. Oh, we got two people in here. If you guys are watching, can you give me a volume check? Let me know that my headset's coming through. I'm doing something. I'm doing all different new things. So I'm hoping that you guys can hear me well. Basically, I've got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about in general about you know the gamosphere. Trying to do something different and interesting. Basically, I want to go over the various different things that we got going on or that are going on in the game space, and effectively just want to kind of let people know that there's other war games out there. Whether you're a BattleTech fan, whether you're a Games Workshop, you're a Warhammer fan, you have other options because the wargaming hobby in general is this huge, wonderful, crazy, diverse thing that I think you guys I think goes underappreciated most of the time. So I guess we'll get started first with BattleTech. So not a whole lot going on with tech. They're doing the big wind up for their Gen Con stuff. So they talked a little bit about what they were doing. I'm actually going to pull up the BattleTech forum where some brave soul has committed themselves to actually watching the Tuesday news days and transcribing it so that it saves everybody else, including me, from having to listen to the ham beast that apparently cheated on her husband and fled to Toronto in the Democratic People's Republic of Canada. So, new releases, audiobook for Land of Dreams. At Gen Con, there's going to be a third Star League battle group. You can get that from the web store right now. Battlefield support and placements, which are the little like turrets, and Battletech Gothic. 2025, 3025 commemorative edition, which is, I've actually seen a copy. I'm not supposed to have seen a copy of it, but I have my various ways and means. I have seen it. It is really cool. CGL is going to do line streaming, author signings, blah blah blah. So a whole lot of nothing. So questions about Brush Wars, War of the Reavings, and basically no updates. So typical Catalyst Game Lab behavior. If I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, it's just to shock and surprise no one. Hey, when's this coming out? I don't know. Eventually. It's like, when's it coming out? I don't know. We can give you a quarter, and we might land on one side or the other of it. So who knows? So wanted to also check out what's going on with the Catalyst web store, because even though I always buy anything CGL related or Battletech related from Ares Games and Ventures, not sponsored, Turbo not sponsored, I just really like Derek. Derek's a great human being. So what we're going to do is we're going to filter on new to old. So let's see what's new. So the McCarran's Armored Cavalry Pack, that's available for retail. So you don't have to go to a bookstore anymore. Barnes and Noble, that exclusivity ran out. You have the Battlefield mats. You have the heavy battle lance. So pretty much everything relevant to the Mercenaries Kickstarter. That's amazing. Hey, let's advertise this thing and not show the people what they're actually buying. Brilliant move, Catalyst. Capital move. Amazing. So, all right. So, again, nothing going on. Nothing, terribly interesting going on the BattleTech front right now. Now, something that has been bedeviling me is someone said that they had put out the Force Pack rules or the record sheets for the Urban Mech Lamb, and I could have swore they were right here, but they are no longer here. So what I want to do is see if I can't. Oh, okay, cool. So let me just real quickly go over these, because I haven't seen these. They look like they're pretty standard record sheets for mechs of the time. I'm not seeing anything crazy or unique or interesting. These are just record sheets for the mechs that you get in the box. There's nothing unique about them. They're like everybody else's, so it's fine. And there was Mercenaries Force Pack, Battlefield Support Force Pack. Now this is interesting. If they actually, oh my goodness gravy. Okay, all right. So they actually put out. This is a lot of record sheets for all the vehicles, and this is free. So, I give Catalyst a lot of shit a lot of the times because they deserve it most of the time. But for stuff like this is actually pretty good. The fact that you can hey, I want to play basic vehicles. I want to play my drop ships. I want to play all the stuff that got Battlefield support rules. Okay, you can go on Catalyst's website and just download the stuff for free. So, calling balls and strikes here. So, I think that's a big home run. Now, this is something that I've always been interested in, because I've never seen the record sheet for never seen the record sheet for the Prometheus. So I'm going to check that out. And here we go. All right. Direwolf Prometheus. So 2 ER large lasers, a UAC 20, 3 large pulse lasers, and an SRM-6. That is a lot of disco death mode DACA. So, all right. So I know how it was described in the novels. I guess I never realized and looked at what the record sheet looks like, because the miniature itself, as you can see from the art here, it's very wacky. And then the third Star League Force Pack, I believe this is the one that they just came out with. This is the one with the Jackalope, the Havoc. Ooh. Oh, that's right. This is new Jackalope art. Okay. So I don't think I've seen the new Jackalope art. Okay, cool. Yeah, looks like a Jackalope. That's fine, I guess. The Havoc. I think the Havoc looks really good. The Hammerhead, nothing to write home about. The Wendigo. The original Wendigo art was dog. It was not good. I did not like it. This actually makes it look really good. Oh, new Kentaro. Okay. I think this was in one of the rec guides, but Pink Floyd Liars Laser Light Show, exactly. So yeah, Kentaro is looking pretty spiffy, so nothing to write home about. And the Lament. I never had a problem with the original Lament art. I think they just sharpened it up. I really like the Excalibur. They did a really good job, I think, with the Excalibur. It got rid of the full-blown goofy sword architecture on the right arm, and they replaced it with that big barrel. And then, of course, you get the Savage Wolf, and a Peacekeeper. How many mechs are in this damn thing? I don't know. There's a Peacekeeper and a Malice. Let's go back up to the Peacekeeper. Because the Peacekeeper was another one of those mechs that was kind of just like, bleh. It's kind of ugly. And it's still kind of ugly. Have I ever tried Battletech Override? I am not. What is that? Edgelord. Thank you for joining. Well, a response from Edgelord. The Lament. I think they did a really good job redoing the Lament. Or no, that's the Malice. The Savior repair vehicle. Oh, that's funny. It's got a whole ass hunchback buried on it now, or at least in the art. That's good. And then J27, we've seen that. No big deal. So there's that. And then House Davian Force Pack. Oh yeah, this was the one. Yeah, this was the one. Okay. So we get the new Gunsmith art. I really like the new Gunsmith art. It's looking pretty sharp. I think it's a great improvement over the original. I really like the Hellspawn. The Hellspawn was one of those OG mechs from MechWarrior 4 Vengeance that was like just kind of, if I remember correctly, it was just kind of made up a whole cloth for the game. And I was like, what in God's name is this thing? And it kind of grew on me like a fungus or a terminal illness. And I kind of came around to liking it. And basically what the art team at Battletech did looks like they just made this look, like more high poly version of that old model. Enforcer, I have no problem with the Enforcer. I really like it. I'm lukewarm on the Death from Above's War Games. A simplified total war compromise between the speed of Alpha Strike. I've seen that. I've seen them play that and show that. Yeah, it looks that looks interesting. I'm gonna have to give that a shot one of these days. But the Legionnaire, I think it looks too. The new art makes it look too much like a Hammerhead for me, and I think that's the only thing that the only real criticism I would offer it is just kind of it's got too much Hammerhead DNA, and that seems retroactive. I really like the Falconer. They redid the Falconer art. I think that was really good. Um, the Thanatos again, that was one of those MechWarrior 4 Vengeance mechs that they did. That again, I think they looked really good. That they simply enhanced and beautified the design. I think they did that really well. Again, the Templar again, another MechWarrior 4 design. It's ironic that all these are kind of MechWarrior 4 adjacent stuff. This the Templar Omni-Mech is actually really good. Yeah, the Thunderbolt, the Naos Thunderbolt. The thing I liked about the Naos Thunderbolt is they included the cheeky edition of the kind of a MechWarrior Dark Age style helmet, or not helmet. I've been looking at too much 40K crap. Cockpit where it's very squared off, as opposed to the new version, which I really like. Now, what's in the House Curita Force pack? Whoop. I clicked on something and it didn't happen. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Huh. Oh no. Okay, so it just links back to the page. That seems sloppy. So you got the record sheets for okay. So I don't know. It looks like we're missing the record sheets for the Urban Mech Lamb, and nothing truly was lost. So that's in the download section. So I always pop this every month or every couple months or so just to check for new downloads. Apparently it's been a while since I did it for Battletech here. Um, so we've got that, and then we looked at some of the stuff that's just coming up, and really nothing interesting. I just can't be. Yeah, the Avatar is one of as a local guy that I play with. He is a Kurita dude. That's his faction, and he is just gaga for the Avatar. So he's going to be a happy man once he gets that. Oh, I guess if you Mom, they spilled Grim Dark in my BattleTech. So you get the Universe Primer where they turned the the Catalan Confederation, that's mostly Asian people, turned them into literal snake monsters. What did they mean by this? Okay, okay, weird. Um, yeah, not a whole lot going on with Battletech because I feel like they hit this big log jam, um, where yeah, I don't. So here's my 2 cents on BattleTech Gothic. I think the miniatures look really cool. I think the mechs specifically look really cool. Um, I think there's a lot that you can do with the whole like them being, crazy, whacked out pirates, and you could have made this like a deep periphery game where these guys are in the middle of the BFE periphery. They got stranded somewhere along the line, somewhere along, time and space, or whatever, and they kind of involved in this weird micro society, and that would explain why the mechs look so like twisted and gothic. So like, you could have had that and still had it be able to like interact with the main setting, but they didn't do that. I actually, the Gorilla Miniatures Games, they actually did an unboxing of. They actually did an unboxing of it, of that game, and one of my first comments was, "Why would you do this? Like, this makes no sense, because it's going to do is split the fan base, especially if you're going after the 40K refugees, right? 40K refugees are going to see this and they're going to go, "Ooh, this reminds me of home." and they're going to gravitate towards this product initially. And when they realize that the rest of BattleTech is not like this, it's like they're probably gonna they'll throw Catalyst Game Labs $100 for this, and that'll be the end of their participation in BattleTech probably. So, and the other thing about Games Workshop is like Games Workshop and their fans, speaking as one, has a really abusive, it's almost like this abusive relationship with their fans. Is like it's like an abusive, like, or toxic relationship where GW says, hey, we're not going to change anything about the game that you love. Then they change everything about the game that you love. You leave. The edition kind of creeps along, and then you keep hearing good things, and it's like the Games Workshop comes back to you and says, baby, come back, I've changed. And then you go back because you're a moron, and it's comfortable. You're comfortable with the pain that GW puts you through, and doing something new is scary, right? So that's my overall assessment, is that they're just like they're trying to feed into a demographic that's not going to stick around long. So that's my thought on BattleTech and BattleTech Gothic especially. The thing that makes me really mad is they bumped BattleTech Aces, which is actually a module that you would have a lot of traction with. Like, that looks like that's going to be a really good box. So let's see, BattleTech Aces. Yeah, so BattleTech Aces. So this is going to have, nope. So let's see. Aces, maybe? Well, so BattleTech Aces is basically it's a BattleTech box that Scouring Sands, that's what it's called. It's got the Amazing Bane, it's got all the sick Clan 2C Intersphere mechs, second line mechs. It's got a pair of Fulcrum hover tanks, which I love. It's going to have terrain. It's going to have hills. It's going to have like fold out hills, which is like, what? So, considering the amount of terrain you get in the original Alpha Strike box, apparently there's going to be bridges, and you're going to have like more river expansions in that box as well. So it's like, wow, that's going to be wild. I'm like, give me that. Why can't I have that instead of, you gave me Flaming Hot BattleTech, which is BattleTech Gothic. I don't want Flaming Hot BattleTech. I want my Chocolate BattleTech, which is BattleTech Alpha Strike, and then Total Warfare as BattleTech Vanilla. So, but since Catalyst is bound and determined not to do anything or talk about anything interesting until the end of the month through Gen Con, where they probably do all the reviews. Moving right along to another game system that I have been enjoying the hell out of, called Halo Flashpoint. This is a Halo skirmish game based off of Mantic Games' Dead Zone rules architecture. It's really slick. It plays fast. It's fun. They added originally it was like a drafting mechanic where like the guys had what they had on the card, and then they introduced a more granular like points buy system, and you're going to get more of that. And this is going to be the next expansion for that, which is the Banished. And the Banished is, if you've not been keeping up with Halo Infinite, so Halo 3 happens, right? Then Halo 4 happens, and Halo 4 is the Master Chief gets woken out of cryo sleep, and he is fighting basically these dribs and drabs of the Covenant as it was, or as they thought it was. And then Halo 5, we don't talk about Halo 5, because if somebody can explain the plot of that video game to me, be my guest. And then Halo Infinite happens, where effectively the Banished are brute led version of the Covenant. It's kind of like the Covenant from Halo. Urban Mech. It's just a phase, mom. um, so the Banished are the antagonists of Halo Wars 2. Halo Wars 2. So that's where they came from, and they kind of become the Covenant proxy in Halo Infinite. And you go around doing stuff and fighting them and whatnot. So this box set actually comes with it's 139 retail. Now you think that's steep, but you can get the rules for free if you sign up for Mantic's newsletter. So you can get the rules for free if you just sign up for Mantic Games newsletter right now. If you go to the website and sign up, and then you buy this box and you're done. End of transaction. This contains everything that you need. You get a version of Atriox, who is the big kind of brute leader, who I think looks fantastic. It's funny too because this is supposed to be like a kind of like exclusive edition sculpt, for this box. And I don't think he's going to be in it post the pre-order window, and he's going to be replaced by this version, the retail version, in September. And I think I kind of like this one better, which is weird. So it's like they both look really good. I both like both poses, but I think this one just has a little bit more like he's got a little bit more gravitas to it. I don't know. Mostly because he's got a gravity hammer. So we've got that, and then we've got the Banished Scenery set. And the Banished Scenery, so they did this for the UNSC guys too, where it's like this weird. It's hard plastic. It's pre-assembled hard plastic. It's the strangest thing. It's like, oh, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's there. Um, but you can get that, and they're just basically scattered terrain. Just bought the heavy gear boxes. Wish there was more content on that series out there. Flanman, you're talking about Heavy Gear Blitz? Because that's its own thing. They actually, and that's actually one of the tabs that I'll get to. I won't get ahead of myself, but we'll revisit Heavy Gear Blitz here in a second. So you get, the cardboard terrain. The cardboard terrain is nice and thick and sturdy. Okay, so Blitz. Okay, so that's interesting because poke me again when I get to my my DreamPod 9 tab, because they're actually doing a summer sale right now that I'm going to get to, because I can come back to that. So, but basically you have, yeah, I'm almost done with this. So you get the cardboard terrain. So effectively, this box for 139 USD is everything that you need to play the Banished, or you can nickel and dime yourself, this and then this and then that and then that and then that. So that's like, why would you do that? Just buy the one box, and you're gonna get a pretty steep discount. And if you go to one of my favorite retailers currently, if you're in the lower 48, is called Michigan Toy Soldier. Their website is mishtoy.com. Hello. But yeah, pre-order price on this is 99 USD. So if you sign up for the website, then they give you basically like 10 to 20% off the pre-order price. For this is the pre-tariff update price where they secured their orders from. So if you get it here in the lower 48 and you're in the lower 48, you could probably make off like a bandit here. So if you were going to do it, I would get it from a local retailer. I don't know that I would necessarily buy it direct from Mantic. So moving right along. So we're going to shift to DreamPod 9. So DreamPod 9, they've got Heavy Gear Blitz. Now, you said something interesting Uh, Making thin wooden terrain for durability's sake. You know what's funny? I got the 2024 edition of Kill Team from Games Workshop, and that actually contained MDF terrain. That's fantastic. It's nice and rigid, and it works great. So I don't know. So that's me. So anyways, so they are doing their summer sale, which is if you go to the store here. They've actually got quite a bit of stuff going on. Something they've been doing that I think that despite their small size, they've been leveraging a lot of 3D print stuff. So a lot of these new miniatures that they're coming out with, new poses, they're actually 3D printed, um, which I think is a brilliant way for them to kind of expand. They're not expanding upwards so much as they're expanding laterally. They're taking concepts and stuff that they've created, and they're kind of moving it uh, kind of moving laterally in the design space that they've created. But Flanman, if you're interested in getting more detail about through so if you're interested in getting yes, drive through RPG, I'm a human. Yes. If you go to DreamPod 9, what they did is heavy gear blitz. Hell no. So, all right. So what they did is you see this thing where it says revitalized. So what they did is they found all their old paper and ink books that were edited on like a really primitive software, and they remastered it using modern book creation techniques. So they basically restored all the art, all the words. These aren't like bootleg scans of like old books. They're actually look how sharp these are. So this book specifically used to be like a just a scan of a book, and you can see like the margins where it was like torn out. The book was torn apart to lay flat on the printer. So if you have even a passing interest in Heavy Gear Blitz, and you want to get more into the lore and you get more into the background, you go here because they're having their sale, and you get a handful of books, and they actually have. Let's see. Heavy Gear Blitz. How do I look at? I just want to see. Okay, here we go. So 114 titles. So basically, most of these are all on sale, and you can, if you buy or download any one of these, this gives you like the whole world building too, because this used to be like it still is an RPG, like a fully functioning RPG. Because the other thing too is that if you go to or if you get da, 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 da. If you find, yeah, here's the other thing. So if you get the bundle, so this is 65, it's normally 86 or 87. So you get all this. And this is actually really good because even if you're just getting started with Heavy Gear and you want to try to find out like what the background is, this is it. This is your gold standard, because not only do you get a fully functioning RPG system, which I have looked at, it seems pretty solid. It also is like it's ridiculous page count. It's like 400 pages or something crazy. So, and this gives you all the background on all the different factions and histories and whatnot. And of course, each of these factions has their own in-universe, source book. So if you're into Heavy Gear Blitz, go to Drive Through RPG. Uh, download some. Grab some of these because they're fantastic, and these will walk you. These will get you going, get you started. Um, and Gambit Raven, I see your chat there saying you're such a newbie to war games. That's okay, man. That's okay. You know why? Because we all started someplace. I've been doing this for junior year high school 20. So it was 17. So I've been playing like tabletop war games in one form or another since I was 17. So you get bit by the itch, and then you find out what you like. Some people like really aggressive tactical simulation games where everything is ruthlessly real. Or like simulative games like BattleTech or whatnot. It just depends, man. You just gotta find your tribe, right? You gotta find the people that you game with, and what they play and what they game with. You gotta find a system that you like. You gotta. I will say I've kind of at this point the cynic in me. This is the me being glass half empty. Is that the cynic in me says that there's no good game companies anymore because they all seem to be scummy profit driven monsters from one step or another. So for me, that's been kind of the doomer brain, if you will, that I've been fighting a lot. That I've been like, hey, this is not as bad as it seems. Case in point, actually, DreamPod 9. There are some would call him some will call them woke, DreamPod 9, but they're Canadian and they're from Quebec. Like, what do you expect? And the way they actually handle those kind of social issues in the game is it's like one paragraph and that's it, and they don't say anything else about it, which is basically like, hey, because of these circumstances that arose in the fictional world of Heavy Gear, these are why these issues are not such issues anymore. And literally that's like the last you'll hear of that, unless it like interacts with like a game rule, like you're trying to impersonate somebody or something. So um yeah, BattleTech is fun. Battletech is one of those games that seems to exist. It continues to exist in spite of the people that own it, um, which I think is really saying quite a lot. Where the fans love the series so much, and that there is such a dedicated fan base that they are keeping it up. And I think Games Workshop lately has been scoring a bunch of own goals, if you will, talking, and that's been driving people away from the walled garden that is the Games Workshop ecosystem, because it's Games Workshop. I hate to make this comparison because it feels churlish, but Games Workshop is a lot like Apple, right? You go to a Games Workshop store, you buy your Games Workshop brushes, you buy your Games Workshop paints, you buy your Games Workshop miniatures, you buy your Games Workshop magazine, and it's this nice walled garden. But like as soon as you step outside the walled garden, it's like, holy cow, there's so much more cool stuff that I really like, and da, 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 da. So it's all about what you do and what you want and what your taste is. But DreamPod 9, I like them as a publisher because they just kind of put their head down and they just work, just do what they do. Um, Edgelord, yeah, that's been my biggest issue with the current crop of writers and artists and creatives working on BattleTech, is they are injecting 21st century politics into BattleTech when it's never been about that. Like, if you squint and kind of like you squint and you get your binoculars, you can probably see some kind of like issues of the day in those previous books, but they weren't so abusive that they were beating you over the head with it, right? So I think I think time will tell, because I bet 5 years from now, all these stories that we're seeing, like Dominions Divided, where they had a very close, contentious election. I bet those books are going to age like milk, and that's my personal thought on it. So from that tangent from DreamPod 9, let's talk about the James Workshop, which is like, bro, talk about a way. It's not as bad as Doctor Who helping Rosa Parks. Yeah, it's not that bad. Um, yeah, no, Bishop Steiner, he's one of those guys that if you don't agree with him, you are some sort of you are some sort of goose stepping Yahtzee. So when somebody is like that, I don't engage with them because they are too fanatical and rooted in their beliefs that I'm not going to. I just don't want the stress. So that's fine. So anyways, Games Workshop. Talk about talk about building up hype, right? So you're like Horus Heresy third edition. It's gonna be great. It's all singing. It's all dancing. We're gonna bring back the goofy Terminators. We're gonna bring back new armor marks. We're bringing breachers. We're bringing new salt marines. We're bringing all this stuff. That's a yeah, Flame Man. That's a good way to do it. That's the thing about Star Wars. They only made 3 movies, right? I heard there were some fan projects, but yeah, no, they only made 3 of those Star Wars movies. Those were good movies. Same way that they only made 3 Indiana Jones movies. How crazy is that? Um, so Games Workshop, they're building up the hype, and it's like you can you can bring your army over, and it's gonna be fine, and you have all the everything. It's all singing, all dancing, right? And it's like, oh, BT Dubs, like, and then like, of course, some mad lad with access to like one of their warehouses goes, you know what? I'm gonna check. So they go and they start just taking pictures. By the way, if any of the Games Workshop warehouse people that take these photos are watching this stream, I know that's probably an unlikelihood, but maybe it'll get back to them, bro. Games Workshop just gave employees paid out 25 million British pounds in bonuses. Take some of that money, get you an updated phone that doesn't have like a potato strapped to it for a camera. All right. So help the rest of the internet community that are interested in these leaks out. Um, so uh, help a brother out. So basically, it came out that, oh yeah, your army can be totally brought over to Warhammer 30K in third edition. There's a lot of stuff you can't do, but it's going to be exactly the same. You can't have destroyers anymore, but it's going to be great. Tartaros Terminators don't have power fists, even though that's the only thing they come on the sprue with, but it's going to be fine. And lo and behold, um, looky, they brought a kind of, I call it the alimony check, because that's really what this is. It's the alimony check, where it's like, okay, we understand that you guys are upset about this, so we'll cut you we'll cut you this pitiful free PDF. We don't want to make it free because we're Games Workshop and we monetize our tabletop game like it's a AAA video game. So you get all the stuff back, right? And then you get all the stuff they deleted from the original books because they can't sell you a plastic model kit from it. Blah 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 blah, and then they give you they give you a roadmap. One of the quickest ways to lose my interest in a tabletop game is for somebody to say, "We have a roadmap," which means it's like, okay, so it's a wish list. you have a bunch of things that you want to do, that you are angling for that you might do eventually if the winds are favorable, right? Um, so you get, and again, this is Games Workshop. This is Games Workshop cutting off, stealing your wallet and then trying to acting like the good guy when they say, "I found your wallet," and then trying to sell it back to you. So your Talons of the Emperor. Oh, GW gets upset. Oh, I know. Um, so what's interesting is the Talons of the Emperor, they actually were an actual legitimate list in Warhammer 30K, and why they got the PDF treatment, like the holdover PDF treatment, I don't know why. This has always been like a PDF, so I'm whatever. These have been always kind of this weird malignant thing that exists that nobody really messes with. The Legion inductee rules were actually one of the last books they put out, and so these three things: the Legions inductee, the Black Shields, and Shattered Legions. These were all in a book that they had released. I believe there was some Zone Mortalis stuff, which is basically like close range firefights. Don't let the faux Latin get you twisted. It's like room clearing type stuff. So I don't know. So Games Workshop, they're in the process of trying to sell the wallet that they stole from 30K players back to them. So there you go. That's kind of tragic, really. And then of course they're going to do their big reveal thing on Friday night, which of course is going to be a thing. And then next on the docket we have Atomic Mass Games. They are not my favorite people because they killed Star Wars Armada and they killed Star Wars X-Wing. So, but they are carrying the torch pretty effectively for Star Wars Legion, which is getting more or less, I hate to call it like a new edition. I guess it is a new edition because what they're doing is they redid the kind of the core rules and cleaned up a bunch of stuff, and they brought in they expanded the scope of it considerably. Um, oh, please don't call me a voice of reason. That's terrifying. It's like how mad has the world gone that is a lunatic like me is a voice of reason. No, the arm painter, yeah. He seems chill. I have no problem with him. He seems pretty cool. The fact that he stood on principle, the with his Baron of Baron of Dice, yeah, Baron of Dice sponsor. Hats off to him. That's fantastic. But yeah, let's go through what they're doing for Star Wars Legion. And so, like, look at us. I've assembled these miniatures. They're extraordinarily fiddly. The destroyer droids and the that didn't work at all. The destroyer droids and the battle droids, the B1 battle droids themselves, they went together reasonably okay. You just had to be careful and move slow. So it took a long time, but the results were worth it. They redid the General Grievous scope. I think I like this a lot better because most of the time when you were building that old model of General Grievous, you would most people that I saw, what I did is I would try to organize him. He's wearing the cloak with his four lightsabers out. So they were just like, okay, that's the most popular version of this guy, so we're just going to do that. So, but these are all existing miniatures. General Grievous is a new miniature. It comes with a full rule set and some dice to get you started, so you don't have to buy like a separate like rules pack, which I actually kind of appreciate. And the rules are free for download because Atomic Mass Game does this thing where they how do I put this? They dial in the rules build for they dial in the rules building for how do I put this? Dial in the rules building for like tournaments. So like a pickup game is it's a very tournament style game, which there's really not that much for BattleTech that does that. Oh, dude, yeah, no, Gambit Raven, absolutely. That's the I popped that bad boy out. I was a fine addition to my collection. So that's the CIS starter set, which actually looks really good. It looks like there's a lot of value. Each one of these that I'm showing off, 99.99 USD. So if this was a Games Workshop thing, this would probably be about $200. So I don't know. Maybe they're using different plastic, but these guys are all hard plastic on sprue. That's one of the big changes that Atomic Mass Games has made from the previous shepherd of Star Wars Legion, which is um, which was Fantasy Flight Games, where they were using the kind of the soft PVC like BattleTech is using. So that's that, and then you have uh, the Galactic Republic, where you get Obi-Wan, and you get some ARC troopers, you get some ARF troopers, you get a shitload of clones. So again, all in one starter set. Really good value. Brand new model for General Kenobi. I think he looks really good. Um, you could make an argument that hey, this should be Anakin. It's like, eh. Then the Empire one, I really like this sculpt for Darth Vader. I want to see if I can zoom in on it all. There we go. Where he's just kind of like standing there. He's just standing there menacingly. And he's surrounded by stormtroopers, and the stormtroopers are now hard plastic. The old PVC stormtroopers were kind of dog ass. So I'm glad they made the decision to bring those back. Oh, okay. So here we go. Oh wow, flashbanged. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's a real nice. So all the stormtroopers look really good. All the clone troopers look really good. That makes me want to go at let's see if I can zoom in on Grievous, because I want to see Grievous. Uh yeah, here we go. Learn more. Learn more? There we go. Wait, that's not Grievous. Oh, that's Rebel Alliance. It would help if I click the right one, right, chat? All right, here we go. They don't have the spinny pictures. That's hilarious. Yeah, he when he's cutting up all the rebel troopers. Speaking of rebel troopers, so you get a really nice sculpt of kind of like that Luke in his Bespin drip. Looks really good. Looks fantastic. The rebel troopers look really good. Apparently, on the sprue, they're going to have a ton of head options to allow them to be human and Twi'leks and Mon Calamari and all sorts of stuff. So, and then these guys, the Pathfinders, wearing these guys, they're kind of the indoor rebel troopers. Look really fantastic. So that looks really good. And then somebody else that has actually been kind of stealing a bit of GW's thunder has been a company called group called One Page Rules, and basically they created this war game to ostensibly give you one page rules, and it's a print and play and for both miniatures and the rules, and it's from what I understand it's funded mostly by like store you know store purchases from their website, or you can buy 3D print STLs or pre-printed miniatures. So a bunch of merch. And I found out they are going to launch a game found to do their Warhammer 40K rule set is called Grimdark Future. So they're going to be doing a Grimdark Future starter set featuring two of their factions that are kind of, if you squint at them slightly, they're in, so 30 to 50 miles. So download the free starter set, and then it tells you about this. So it's interesting that they went from this to saying, "Hey, we want to be a big boy company." Gambit Raven, there are Ewoks. Yeah, you and me both, Edgelord. You and me both. So yeah, Grimdark Future from One Page Rules. They're going to put out a starter set with PVC miniatures. I believe it's going to be. They're going to be pre-assembled either way. Yeah, launching in September. So looks interesting. I wish them well. I think that they're going to have kind of an uphill fight. I think trying to steal some GW players away. But again, I think they're probably going to get a bunch just to looking at the rules because of this whole Horus Heresy thing. So there's that. And then, oh yeah, the We Have BattleTech at Home Kickstarter from Modifius Games, where the miniatures ironically started off being, like totally not BattleTech rip-offs, and then becoming its own thing. So I think it's funny. Huh? Let's see. Whoop. A Baron. Baron. Now, if you unscramble that word, that says urban, and I don't know what mech that looks like, guys. That's a toughie. What would you urban mech that starts with urban? I don't know. I'm stumped. Just completely befuddled. So, it's funny that this game that started off. Oh, look, Flashman. That started off as these guys making miniatures for a non for a non BattleTech BattleTech game, kind of doing its own thing. It's ironic that it's come full circle where they're kickstarting a game based off of knockoff BattleTech miniatures. Yeah, I not to run them down completely. They do have a lot of cool, interesting designs. I like this little fella right here. But it's just funny. It's like this weird time is a flat circle. The Ouroboros eats its tail, so kind of thing. And then we have. I was curious. Because I wanted to see how many Kickstarters Catalyst had kind of juggling at once. So they have one, two, three. They're still fulfilling this one. Five, six. They still haven't fulfilled this one. I think these ones have been in various different forms of complete. Actually, oh, and they're launching two more. Look at that. So they're launching a fantasy miniatures game or like a steampunk miniatures game. And then they're launching some sort of thing for Pathfinder. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I wonder when Leviathans is going to come out. That's been a rolling joke through my Facebook page as I've been trying to figure out when Leviathans is going to hit. So, okay, North America and Asia, we want small delay credit cards. Okay, so they're charging shipping. Okay, all right, look at that. All right, interesting. Okay, so the backers that back this back in when did this fund? So the people that back this back on, oh come on, where's the date? There's gotta be a date here. If I remember correctly, it was 2022. Let's see, is that it? Oh no, well, it just takes you to the update. So I believe this was fun. Yeah. Oh God, August 22. That's what it was. August 22nd of 2022. You know what we should do, chat? We should have a 3-year a third birthday for the Leviathans Kickstarter. If I can figure out what day August 22nd is. That's a Friday. Oh yeah, dog. We're gonna get turnt. It's gonna be great. I should do a Leviathan's anniversary live stream on the 22nd. That is gonna be lit. All right, sweet. So yeah, so this is gonna come out eventually. Then their Frostpunk. They're oh my god, they're just now getting around to the pledge manager on this one. This one funded. When did this one fund? Oh, this one funded this year. So, all right. Then Voltron, and they've got. I still can't believe they conned somebody into getting the license for Voltron of all places, of all things. Like, how would you even play that role playing game? It's like at the end of every session, you would just become Voltron and like slash the big bad guy in half with the sword, and it's like what are the stakes here? I don't know. So, and then Shadowrun funded in under 40 minutes. This was 2 years ago. Updates. Wow, they still so 2 years old, still haven't delivered. This one is upcoming. Game has undergone a transformation to expand your adventures in Pathfinder universe. I don't play Pathfinder, so that means nothing to me. And then Partha Wars that defined the Partha Wars. This is like some shit that I would scrawl on the back of a napkin in like homeroom. I like, you know, a little like Sir Killy McStabby Face. I think we're gonna have to kill these guys. Dang. Yeah, no, Edgelord. They are spreading themselves thin. So you know why the Leviathans Kickstarter is just now getting around to getting delivered to people? Literally, it's because somebody talked to one of Randall Bill's brood that he Nepo baby that runs Leviathans. Basically, they took all the people on his team that were responsible for Leviathans and threw them at the Mercenaries Kickstarter because the Mercenaries Kickstarter got so derailed. And I guess he's just now getting those resources, those resources back. And then this was, let's see, when was this funded? This was funded a while ago. Yeah, yep. And then, Jesus, there's still 500 people that haven't, 500 people that haven't gotten their pledge delivered yet. Jesus Christ. That is crazy work. Let's look at the comments because the comments are always solid gold. The saga continues. Let's see. New upcoming Shadowrun Kickstarter. Guess who's going to back it with the minimum amount possible and post a daily link to this project? I mean, people absolutely need to know what a stellar job you did on that one. I already report that the Kickstarter CGL has not still not duly delivered on its current projects, but Kickstarter don't care. My advice in these days is just avoid crowdfunding. True and real. Let's see. So much for keeping last update 20th of May, keeping the backers informed on delivering stuff they paid for. Woof. Us and Wave 4 probably got scammed. Launching in another Kickstarter and haven't finished completing the existing ones. Wow, people are rightly not happy, and can't say I blame them, you know. So that's around the horn. So I'm trying to think of anything else that I can think about. Let's see. Game found. There was two projects on Game Found that I was keeping an eye on. Oh yeah, there is this one, which is by Black Site Studios. There is Ice and Fire. Ooh, song of some Fire Tactics, and then yeah. So this one's fun. So if you're familiar with Black Site Studios is fun little group, and what they do is they just do wacky shit. They're just like they literally created a tornado chasers game, like a game where you chase tornadoes, and it's like what? And they were like, okay, let's play. We play God a survival miniatures game, which is you know it's Jurassic Park. Just call it what it is. It's Jurassic Park. And then you have they did another one that's actually really cool called not Dead by Daylight. That's a video game. It'll come to me, but it's just fun. They're a fun little company. They love experimenting with the rules and design space and just kind of doing crazy crap and the fact that you can. This is neat. That's too bad I missed this. Oh wow. Alphas, big threats. Each zone. Eden has one of these as apex. That's neat. I just want to be able to play with. I want to play with my dinosaur toys. I literally want to play with dinosaur toys, and this is scratching an itch that I didn't know that I needed. Um, Look at that. That's neat. Yeah. All right. That's funny. Okay. Then they have so it's digital and physical. It's pretty cool. It's really neat. Like I said, I like Black Site Studios because they do just random stuff, and it's a lot of fun to see them work. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, so they're totally not Fallout. Called This Is Not a Test. Um, then their games. Don't Look Back. That's what it is. So Don't Look Back has actually got this really cool vibe to it. So if you buy the miniatures, if you buy the miniatures, or if you buy the miniatures, or you buy the book, they come in like these faded VHS type boxes. It's got a really cool vibe to it, and it's like an asymmetrical, like I believe it's either solo. You can play it solo, or it's a co-op game, which I think is really neat. Um, they sell STL files, and then they just sell miniatures. This Is Not a Test. Night Thirst. Mobile Arms is the other funny one. Yeah, Gambit Raven, kind of like Final Girl, exactly. So this is Mobile Arms, and don't think I don't notice what font that is. I'm hearing the A Cruel Angel's Thesis pop up in my head. Um, and this is just kind of a skirmish mecha game. It's like, all right, let's chill. And the miniatures, the miniatures are pretty expensive, but because they're print on demand and they're gigantic, I think that kind of excuses it. And the fact that you only need like two or three, well, it's like okay, fine, that is what it is. So again, Black Site Studios, they do a lot of wacky stuff. Oh yeah, they did Lunar and Violent Dark. Lunar is basically skirmishes on the moon. So you know the meme about like, hey, where are you going? Moon's haunted. You can literally do that. You can go fight on the moon because like that's wacky. So And then Violent Dark is no. This is what I was thinking about. This was pretty sure this is not a tennis lunar. Microlist. Oh yeah, and then there's this guy named he goes by Malev, and he does like a bunch of like weird like random micro games. So like you get these guys, and then you get the terrain, and it's like less than like this thing is like less than 12 inches. It's like considerably smaller. It's like tiny. So and it's basically like you're totally not Doom guy, and you gotta set the ship self-destruct and leave. And I guess the way that works is that each time you move into an area, the terrain shifts. And watch for All Mankind. I did not. I got to check that out. There's so much media I've been keeping up on. Huh. I wonder what that's a reference to. So, but apparently they're doing hard plastic on sprue Spacemans for this. And then Violent Dark is I don't know what Violent Dark is. So, well, and then last but not least, the this is a game found thing. So this game, Cool Mini or not, they're I believe they're Hong Kong based. They have the license to do the Song of Ice and Fire stuff. And it's Song of Ice and Fire, not Game of Thrones, which is the HBO TV show that nobody liked towards the end. So with this is basically like the actual books, and this is the skirmish version of that game. But apparently these guys have been hanging on by the skin of their fingernails. They've been having a bad time lately. So what's been happening with them is they had to restructure, sell off a bunch of licenses, and sell off a bunch of assets and stuff, and do a workforce reduction. So, but apparently they're still in the game. They're still doing the damn thing. But this has been, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun if when it finally comes out, because this is one of those ones that for no good reasons, no good reason that I can yet determine. This one is just kind of like slammed to a halt. And again, I think it's one of those things where it's a matter of let's see. I think it's one of those things that's a matter of like it's just bad timing on their part, and then they got hit with all these layoffs and restructuring and whatnot. With this one, I believe is the same vintage as BattleTech, the Mercenaries Kickstarter. So this is about 2 years old. Oh no, February 25. Okay, so this was actually just not too long ago. So okay, or no, so February 25. No, it's February 24th. So yeah, this is getting kind of long in the teeth. But I don't know. It's going to be. Hopefully, this comes to fruition because, like I said, the actual rank and flank version of Song of Ice and Fire. Here, let's see if I can. There we go. Let's see. It's weird because they have all these great properties, and they have Metal Gear Solid, so you can Metal Gear. And then they have this. This is like I said, this is actually a really fun game. I really like it. It has a great app that works with it, and you can all the characters are more or less true to the way they've been established in the actual game of Song of Ice and Fire books, as opposed to yeah, I know there's a lot of things that can be said about them, and there's a lot of things that can't. Not nice things generally, but this was one of the few games that this is actually the only game I ever played of theirs that I really enjoyed the hell out of. Because it was fast, it was fun to play. There was a lot of strategy, there was a lot of levels of play to it. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where somebody offers you to like play a game, like if they have like a ringer army, it's like, hey, you want to try this? Do yourself a favor. live a little, and play it. So, um, well, that's me. I've run completely the hell out of things to talk about. So, I think I'm gonna try to make this a Wednesday thing. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. And if you want to continue to support me and my content, there's a link in the description, ko-fi.com/slash Dr. Bonsai. If you guys want to support me, thank you very much for your time and your attention, guys. You have a great night.